A special YouTube channel representation with a special subscriber milestone. A special YouTube channel milestone, subscriber milestone representation. As one dare might say, it is worth the presentation. A special YouTube channel subscriber milestone representation. A special celebratory representation of subscriber presentations representing. Well, this is certainly another special YouTube channel representation. Hello everybody, hello everybody, hello. Oh, quite a good audience here, hello. Oh, okay. Well, time to... Oh my goodness. Thank goodness it wasn't explosive. Do excuse the little tissue in my nose, it's because I had a little minor nosebleed before I could make the video. But this is to stop the bleeding, fortunately enough. But yes, this is certainly a special channel representation because of a subscriber milestone one of my greatest, wonderful new friends has recently achieved. This great new friend of mine, we've been friends since I didn't encounter her content until September of 2023, which was when she represented my content. And then she ended up talking to me about Trevor Colt, and then Trevor Colt himself represented me, and then before long, within many months later, I did the live stream with Trevor Colt himself, but since September of 2023, I've really, truly remained loyally, inseparably good friends with her, and of course Trevor and her wonderful, dearly loved husband. This lady needs no introduction. Fiona Hesketh herself, who has the Avid Gardener YouTube channel. How I found out about Fiona through her dearly loved husband Graham, who I first encountered back in May of 2023, shortly after the King's coronation, which was when he came over to my content. And we've just remained inseparably good friends like that. Honestly, I really do not look back at befriending them. I mean, I just cannot be more fortunate to have a friend like Fiona in my life, and certainly friends like Graham in my life, and of course Trevor too. And of course, had I not encountered the three wonderful people, I never would have made wonderful good friends with people like Tony Stark, Mary I. Park, Sandra Parrott, Mrs. Patricia Murphy, and lovely Rosie from Alabama, a lovely Susan Reich, that is, from New York in the United States of America, Michelle Pope from Wales, Elaine Williams from Greater London, Caroline Allen from North Carolina in the United States of America. Who's next? Oh, yes. Rosie from Scotland, and Catherine from Iceland. And of course other wonderful people like lovely Lady Rhea, Marcia, Maureen, that's Maureen Howard. Who else? Caroline Capel. There are two Carolines I'm friends with who I've befriended through Graham and Fiona themselves, being that of Caroline Allen and Caroline Capel. It's not a chesty cough, it was just... Sorry, it's not to worry. The chest is not mucky, thank goodness. Having had a chest infection bout last week, which I'm over now. Yes, no. Who else am I? I'm hoping I've not missed out far too many. Lovely lady Julia, who's Australian. Carol Casey, Carol Tapia. Two lovely, lovely ladies, the two lovely Carols. One of the Carols is Australian, Carol Casey in Australia, and Carol Tapia in the United States of America. And who else am I missing out? Oh my goodness, there's a nice lady called Avril who I get on very well with. Avril Dixon, I think it is. Stephen Magnus, he's another example. John Rees, another good example. And there's a Mary J. And there's several wonderful good new friends. Oh, Susan Elkin is another example from New Mexico. And sorry, something got a little stuck. Yes, a little stuck, but it should be alright for now. I mean, so many wonderful new friends through Graham and Fiona, particularly Fiona, and certainly particularly Graham and Trevor too. So many wonderful new friends, it's hard to list them all out, you know. But I cannot say how grateful, thankful and grateful I largely am for all the friends I've befriended through Fiona, and certainly Graham and Trevor too. Could there be other people I'm accidentally missing out? Oh yes, there could be another example. I could point out, or dare point out, lovely lady Lisa, who's located in the Pennsylvania region of the US state of Pennsylvania in the United States of America. And who else is there? And there's Ginger Grazius in the US state of Texas, another example. Suzanne Baxter, who does follow my content and is also a channel member of my channel. Oh goodness, what a leaked revelation. Sorry about that, Susan. Because I don't normally name out channel members. Nice new... I just love her so much already. Karen Dawson. Oh, do I love her? I love her so dearly. Oh, I love you, Karen. Love you, I love you, Karen. In the way I absolutely love... well... and if I may say, I love her. I mean, not quite as much... I don't quite love Karen as much as I love, I love Tony, Mary, Sandra, Mrs. Patricia Murphy, Rosie, Susan, Michelle, Elaine, Caroline, Rosie and Catherine. Oh, I just love those 11 ladies very, very faithfully, dearly. Oh, certainly do they mean a lot to me as friends. That is. They're wonderful, I must say. And I always enjoy a nice conversation with them all, certainly whenever Graham and Fiona are happily live streaming. But you know, when the twinkle goes out of my eyes for the ladies who follow Graham, Fiona and Trevor, I'll turn out my toes and die. I love their friendliness and kindness and friendship practically in every single way possible. And certainly do I highly cherish, happily and heartily, the friendship I have with Graham and Fiona, and certainly with Trevor too. You know. Wonderful. But why I truly believe Fiona deserves this representation is she's not terribly far off of 3k subscribers, but she needs just under another 2k more to get to 30k. Just said, I'm really hoping that sometime in the spring or summer of 2024, Fiona will reach the 30k subscriber milestone. I think it was only around about, I'm conceivably certain Fiona reached the 28k subscriber milestone on either the 18th, 19th or 20th of March of 2024. That's my conceivable belief or surmised assumption, but I cannot be completely certain. I only really remember seeing her reaching the 28k subscriber milestone on the 18th or 19th of March of this year. Though I could certainly be wrong, Fiona will be able to tell me when she noticed she'd hit the 28k subscriber milestone. I mean, she'll be able to tell me this because I'm not thoroughly certain enough, but I can only give out my surmised assumption and from what I had personally seen. You know, but if it was too much, Fiona, what I was saying, if you're watching, I really very greatly apologise. You know, why I truly believe Fiona deserves 30k subscribers sooner rather than later is because of the brilliant informative content she provides about the royal family and what's going on behind the scenes, or possibly what's happened, or whether they're going through controversially pressed issues or certain upcoming important things, or surmised future beliefs regarding certain prominent royal family figures and all that. She has a tremendous amount of respect for our future King and Queen, Prince William of Wales and Princess Catherine of Wales. She has just the most greatly huge, utmost respect and gratitude for those two wonderful royal members. Because obviously King Charles III, he's sadly not going to be king forever, but I think he's still got a good few years to go, provided he overcomes the cancer ordeal, which I believe he eventually will. Fingers, fingers, fingers crossed. So, yes, I'm looking forward to seeing King William being crowned, when William gets crowned as king, in the way I saw King Charles getting crowned. It won't be for a while yet, that's my surmised belief. But I don't know when it's going to happen. When is it going to happen? Not sure, but we shall see. That's all I can really say to it, you know. It wasn't too much. It wasn't far too mucky moment, luckily. Something was just slightly stuck. But please be assured I'm not as bad as I was last week, when I did not go out for a few short days and then lost 2 kilos of weight. But I'm regaining the weight at least, and come to think of it, I'm probably going to weigh myself again over the weekend, because I believe I've gained a little bit more since the last time I weighed myself, following my 2 kilo weight loss following the chest infection ordeal. But anyway, that's beside the point. Another one of the brilliant things Fiona does, the thing she generally does with Graham is live streaming together for whenever chance allows for the two of them to happily go live streaming together. The live streaming moments, oh, they are just a blast of fun. They are just extraordinary. Especially when they're live streaming via StreamYard. That's the most fun. I mean, honestly, I love seeing them live streaming on StreamYard. You know, and sometimes she and Graham allow a special guest to come on the StreamYard from time to time. And I have many times seen Trevor making his guest live stream appearance on StreamYard whenever they're sometimes live streaming. And I even had the pleasure of making a live streamed appearance via their StreamYard on their first live stream of 2024. But though it was a pleasure being on the live stream, it was namely a live stream talking about a serious topic which I do wish could be addressed a little more than it currently is, because it is a serious issue. I mean, I'm not going to talk a lot about it because my good friend Anna Perkins said that for the sake of my own sanity, please don't talk about it. Either don't talk about it too much, or please seldom talk about it until the next time the needs have warranted the necessitating needs for it. And I've completely followed her advice on that. Just to say, rest assured, Anna, if you had been watching. And some of the loveliest things Fiona said to me, she said, it's always nice when Fiona says that I have a lovely character. And Fiona, if you are watching, I really appreciate the compliments you provide towards me from time to time. You too, Fiona. You have a lovely character in the deepest soul depth of your very heart. I mean that, as is Graham too. He's a lovely character in the deepest soul depth of his heart as well. And both you and Graham are always very good at taking not only me under your wings, but also taking other people under your wings as well. And always, both of you are always very, very full of helpfully useful advice, which really, truly comes in handy. It well and truly comes in handy, and I mean that. Saying that so, I have a lot of thanking gratitude to both you, Fiona, and your wonderful Graham, since encountering you. And long may our friendship continually flourish happily into the future years to come. And I'm always looking forward to your future content. Even if I may watch it late, I'm always looking forward to watching it. And even if it discusses many pressed issues, they're always very interesting to watch, because it does provide the depth and insight of the certain pressed issue, which I truly conceivably believe, as a lot more people are beginning to believe now, is what the real media lacks now these days. I mean, if anybody could reform the news media or anything, I think it could be Graham, Fiona and Trevor. They'd just be the best candidates to reform the news media, to tell, representing the news in the full truth, depth of truth, as it should be represented, because sometimes I think there's too much misinformation in today's media and news outlets. No offence, this is just my opinion, that's all. I mean, although yes, there are many news outlets that can represent misinformation and sometimes provide clickbait, where you can just click on something, you read something, says, oh, it's going to be this, oh, it's going to be that, goes all over the place, until you later find that was just outright speculation. That sort of thing. Or other news things that I loathe greatly, which they represent. Either I loathe greatly or sometimes frighten the life out of either me or frighten the life of oneself. There we are. Oh dear. Well, there we have things. But really, if anybody could reform the news media, the best candidates would be Graham, Fiona and Trevor. They have the best idea of knowing what to do when it comes to representing the news, be it royal family news, or it could be on news on anything. Politics, royal family, history. Fiona's very good at representing history from the past, as is Graham too. And Graham is very good at representing history, be that from the British Army, since he was in the army himself, as he has spoken about a very great many times in his very videos and all that from time to time. You know. I always look forward to your future content, Fiona, certainly if you're doing it either on your own, solely, or with your wonderful Graham. It's always wonderful seeing both of you doing it together. Or whether your son Benji is going to be seen in your content as well, or your wonderful daughter Faith and her wonderful loved boyfriend Braden, or your wonderful cat, who I love your cat. Daphne and Nixie, say hello to your cat, by the way, if I may say. And they think your cat looks absolutely gorgeous. Yours and Graham's cat, if I may say so, Fiona. And certainly will I be looking forward to seeing future live streams. And I'm actually looking forward to appearing on one of your future live streams again one of these days, after appearing on it back in February of 2024. But if I did make it a little too sad when I appeared on it on what was the anniversary date of my grandfather's death, I really am sorry if I made it emotionally investing. But come next live stream, I would almost certainly be all smiles and happily enjoying myself. But I'm just so sorry if I represented a far great depth of sadness on it. No, really I am. I didn't mean to, but I just needed the entertainment to cheer myself up a bit. I mean, I did, rest assured, overcome the loss of my late grandfather Edmund. I mean, I'll always miss him. I certainly always miss him. And I'll always be remembering him fondly. 'Cause, you know, and having inherited quite a lot of his clothes, and some of his suit jackets, and some of his ties. This tie, by the way, that was my late grandfather Edmund's tie, which I'm wearing, by the way. That was his tie. And I really feel fortunate to have inherited it, because had I not inherited his tie, it could have either gone to charity or been thrown out in the rubbish dumps, as far as one could have been certain. I'm so happy it didn't, and I'm really happy I took the pleasurable opportunities in inheriting it. And hopefully I'll continue to wear this from time to time for as long as I shall live. You know, and Fiona, you were very right. When you were on the live with Trevor, I was very fond of my Edmund. I really was. He meant the world to me. I mean, he was in the world to me big time. I mean that when growing up. He was a huge influence on my life growing up. And had I known yourself and Graham and Trevor at the very time of Edmund's saddening death, the emotional support, I think your emotional support, don't know if I would have received it or not. It's possible I very much likely would. I'm not trying to say anything bad. Any emotional support you two would have given at the very time of the loss, it would have been beyond enormously valuable. But please be assured and rest assured that all the belated condolences you gave me last month, alongside all of my wonderful new friends through Graham and Fiona, through yourself, Graham and Trevor, who was on the live stream, and all of your friends and followers who were watching the live stream at the time, and those who commented on it when watching replay, I really do thank you enormously for your belated condolences, as I would have truly valued them greatly, both as of now and certainly almost definitely back in 2020, at the very time of the loss, because the loss of my late grandfather Edmund, it devastated myself and my family deeply, but had the worst effect on my grandmother Anne, as one could expect, very, very sadly. She lived, she's still alive as of 2024, and she lived, but she never completely recovered from the loss. But it's never stopped her living life to the full, but she'll never recover from the loss, I'm afraid, you know. Though she lives life to the full, a part of her is sadly gone. Most unfortunately, but this is what happens with a lot of elderly people, I'm afraid. But she'll always have fond memories of my late grandfather, as will I. You know, and really, I just cannot thank you from the bottom of my heart, all the condolences you, yourself, Graham, Trevor, and everybody who was following the live stream and those who watched the replay had provided and given towards me. And it was a real surprise when the lovely Michelle came on towards the end of the live stream. And Trevor had just gone and she just came in on the knives. She was very brave to have done it, having, says to a lady who's, a lovely, lovely lady, who's very adversely against YouTubing or representing herself within the YouTube or any form of social media. She was so brave, really, to have gone on to the live stream, given her adverse angst, no offence, I'm only trying to make a descriptive point, given her adverse angst and worry about being on social media, given how wary she is of trolling risk, because of the ghastly trolling guild yourself and Graham have been facing, and you truly never deserved facing all this hefty full barrage of trolling from that ghastly trolling guild. I mean, I'm not going to give away the name because it will attract too much attention, and I would just almost likely get thrown with trolling to the point where it would take its toll. So I'm not going to say the name of the trolling guild, and please don't mention the name of the trolling guild on here because it will attract too much attention. But given her adverse wariness of trolling, understandably, I mean, a lot of people have adverse wariness to internet trolling, quite rightly so, as I've got adverse wariness to internet trolling too, even though it doesn't stop me from YouTubing and it doesn't make me feel intimidated for representing myself within the internet side of things. Lovely Michelle was just so brave, because I think it was a trying effort for the lovely lady to have come onto the live stream via StreamYard and represent herself to us all. I don't know whether it was me being on as well that helped with her to get through the time she was on it, but it was just so brave with the trying effort and courage she did get to really pushed herself onto to make her appearance on the live stream. You know, and especially when she said all the nice things about Graham and Fiona. You know, she's always lovely. And this is why not only do I love her very faithfully, dearly, but Graham and Fiona love her very faithfully, dearly too, in the same way I love her very faithfully, dearly, and everybody within Graham and Fiona's content. Oh, they just love Michelle just faithfully, dearly. Like really in the comparable way to myself, Graham, Fiona, quite likely Trevor as well, I would quite possibly imagine. You know, and we all showed our concern for her when she was dreadfully poorly over Christmas of 2023. Not only did I show much concern, Graham and Fiona did, and also lovely Mary and Glenn. They too showed their deepest concerns towards her as well. I mean, what? And honestly, I would hate for something to happen to Michelle. I hope it's not going too far saying this. I would hate for hate for something dreadfully awful to happen to Michelle. Or, well, I would hate for anything dreadfully awful to happen to Graham, Fiona, Trevor, or any of my friends within Graham and Fiona's content. They're just... the friendship I have with them is treasuring and valuable. You know, and I'm just so happy I've made friends with them all. You know. But we appreciate yourself and Graham and for all that you do, and we certainly cherish you both most sincerely, Fiona. And I really mean that right from the bottom and deepest soul depth of my heart, saying this. Well, thanks everybody indeed for watching, and please do subscribe to Fiona's channel, everybody. The link to her channel will be found in the description below, and let's boost her up and push her up to get to 30k sometime this spring and summer of 2024. Let's get her all boosted and lifted up to 30k subscribers or more, because I'd really love to see her reach 30k subscribers sooner rather than later. But for whenever she receives 30k subscribers, whenever she receives it, but I can assure you, it will be well welcomed and well congratulated, certainly in the hand and grip of myself, and almost quite likely from, I think almost certainly likely from Trevor and Gwen, and all of my friends who happily follow Graham and Fiona, or certainly the confines of Fiona's content too, and as well as the confines of Graham's content as well. Thanks all indeed for watching, and I shall certainly see you in the very next video. And thanks for watching, and Fiona, I must say, I do truly conceivably believe you deserve a representation like this, not just from me, but from anybody, especially Trevor, who has represented you kindly in recent times. Certainly will I always love you, and I'll always appreciate both yourself and Graham, Fiona, in every way possible. Thanks for watching, and the representation over and out. Ta-ta, another time. From Foxy.